And we are live. Hi, my name is Alexia Anastasio. I'm a filmmaker, and I'm here with
Karen, consultant.
Yeah, no, say your name and what you do.
Did you not hear me? I said I'm Karen Yankovich, and I am a social media consultant.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
And
so, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just looking in the chat, but we're talking about social media, specifically for filmmakers, and a lot of the things that we as filmmakers can do, with especially Karen's expert advice.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think there's a lot that filmmakers can do with social media. So I'm excited to hear what you've done that works for you, Alexia, and then we can maybe talk about what other things, can be done, or what I've seen, or what I'd love to see.
Yeah, sure. So recently, I've been doing labs. Is one thing I've been doing. I've been specifically interviewing other contestants on the contest, and because we're all creatives, so we've been doing co-promotions, and that's something you can do with other filmmakers. You're both filmmakers, and you can talk about on a certain level with your peers. So definitely, that's one thing I've been doing.
I love that.
Another thing I've been doing is dance videos, and then not only posting them on Vimeo, but posting them native to Facebook. I never really posted native to Facebook before, and I saw other people do it, and now that I've tried it, I'm like, I'm gonna do that more.
Yeah. Do you find you get more engagement when you're posting in native? Yeah.
More views, more engagement, more people knowing what I'm doing.
Right.
Versus the couple of, people on my Facebook page if I don't post it.
Right. Exactly. Well, and you know what? I found too that, once you have that native video, there's so many things you can do with it. And that's what I'm really, that's kind of what I'm beating people over the head about on a regular basis is, if you're creating content, make the most out of every little bit of content you create, right? So you're putting it on a Vimeo channel, and there's and then that should inspire tweets back to the Vimeo channel, or even to the Facebook post, right? So each Facebook post has a direct link to it, so you can even send people to the Facebook post from Twitter. So I like to like for each one, having a bunch of different steps. You can even put them on your blog at some point too, if you want it. So there's so many different things you can do with that little piece of native video that you're creating.
So I just wanted to let John know in the chat that we both talk about these topics and have multiple blabs. So if he wants to follow us.
Yeah, absolutely. It must be the week for Hollywood week or something in my world, because I have a casting director on my blab on Thursday. And this is a guy I literally met on Twitter, and I kind of accosted him and said, oh my gosh, I want to talk to you. Would you, I know it's, and he's joining us on Thursday. So I'm really excited for that, because I think it's important in all industries for people to understand how to put yourself out there, right? So whether it's your film or you.
Totally. Yeah. So especially, putting yourself out there with even a crowdfunding campaign. So I'm doing a crowdfunding campaign right now, and that's another tool that I'm using in social media to gain awareness to my project.
So let me ask you something about with your blabs. Are you finding that, what I'm finding what I'm finding is that I don't necessarily meet 100 new people every week, but what I meet is 1 or 2 new people, and those people can be influential to the next 1 or 2 new people, right? So I'm making quickly kind of get to know, like, and trust you here, and I love that because there's a place for 100,000 Twitter followers, but there's also a place for making one-on-one authentic connections.
Exactly, and I feel like that's quality over quantity.
Right.
And it's the same thing when you go to a party. Like, I just went to a party last night. Did I talk to the 100 people that were there? No. Did I make two really good connections with people I didn't even know before that were, you know, interesting to talk to. Yes. And that's way more for me, important for my life, you know, than the people who are going to throw your card away, you know, like that's not worth printing a business card.
Right. But you know what, I want to just address, so I don't know what your name is, but she's got Chantanilla, I think is her screen name. Christina. So Christina, to your point though, like Christina's saying, that should be the point. And I agree, except that there's also a place in a marketing for numbers. You know, so if you're a filmmaker and you're looking for funding, whether it's through a crowdsourcing or whether it's however you're looking for funding, or you're looking for people to be a part of it, or, you know, to be supporters, if they see that you've got 10,000 Twitter followers or 5,000 Twitter followers, you seem more influential. If you take the time to grow your social media, there's a place for that too. So I'm never going to say that it's only about that one-on-one authentic connection, because as positioning yourself as influential is important if you want to, you know, achieve those higher goals, I think.
Yeah, I agree. People see that also, even in a campaign, you want to raise a certain amount of money for like the first 30% or 40%, you know, you're going to be successful. And then people then are like, oh, okay, I'm going to give. So it's that, oh, success. I'm going to buy from, people are going to that party. Oh, then I'll go too. But not, you know, it's harder to get like the first early adopters. Hence that momentum that we were talking about. Right.
So I think it's important to build your, like, so that's why we talked about, for really quickly, we talked a second ago about, you know, social media position. If you're continuing to position you, Alexia, as influential in your social media marketing, then the next film and the next film after that just builds on that. You know, so you want to make sure your personal brand is, you're paying as much attention to your personal brand as you are to your film's brand.
Yeah, I agree. So what do you think is the most important thing for filmmakers to do on social media? Like if they only had 20 minutes a day?
Okay, so for me, the most important thing for a filmmaker to think about is when you're starting to plan for your crowdfunding, for your budgeting, make sure you budget in marketing and social media management. So maybe it's a VA, maybe it doesn't have to necessarily be you. You're the filmmaker. Don't think you need to be sitting there looking at Facebook every day. Build in money for a social media campaign. And the bigger you want your film to be, the more, you know, the higher you've got to be able to confidently look for that money in the budget, right? So that would be the first thing. Don't look at it as like, okay, let me post on Facebook. Look at it as a solid part of your film's budget is the social media marketing, because it is so much less expensive to get the word out via social media than so many other platforms, right? So many other mediums. So that would be the first thing. And then I guess it really would depend on, you know, what your goal is with your film, right? What your social media campaign is. But, you know, like for sure, don't overlook Twitter, because Twitter is where you can drive the most traffic to wherever it is you want to drive traffic to your websites, to your crowdfunding campaign, you know, whatever that is. Facebook is kind of like, people expect you to have Facebook, but it is definitely, you've got to add budget money for that too. You've got to add budget money to sponsor posts and to get in front of the right audience. And the last thing you want to do though is have a ton of social media platforms that look like abandoned amusement parks. You know, like people go there that want to invest in you, and there hasn't been a post, you know, in 6 weeks. So you definitely want to pick one or two that you think would be most advantageous to your film and do those well. You know, I have a client, so I have some private clients as well as programs, and I have a private client that has we just started, like yesterday was the first day we started posting for her, and they came across a really great opportunity to get their product placed, in a national view. And they were like, let's tweet, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to tweet. You've got 2 followers. Like we can't use Twitter right now. We'll reach out to their publicists. We'll try and send it to them. We'll do it that way. But, if I tweet and reach out to these people, they're going to think you're not, like, because we just started and the work hasn't been done to build and Twitter influentially. So take the time to build Twitter way before you think you're going to need it. So then when you need to connect with people, like whether it's somebody, a producer or somebody that you think can be influential to your project, you can easily connect with them on Twitter, but you've got to have done the work first to build a strong Twitter platform. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. If people see that and not only, the national companies, press, people who want to watch your films and interact with you.
Yep. And, and again, it's positioning you as influential, right? You want to, that's important. And that social media can do that for you. Doesn't matter where you are in your career. It doesn't matter who you are. It really matters what people think you are, right? So you've got to kind of act as if, and really put yourself out there in a big way. And that will pay, that pays off for you. That will pay off for you down the road. So, and again, if your project is going to start in October, start building the social media in June. You know what I mean? Like, you got to start, you don't want it when you need it to be ready when you need it. You don't want to start it when you need it. So take the time specific to the film, right? I mean, obviously your personal social media you should be doing forever, but specific to the film, don't start it when you're ready to start the promotion. Start it way before that. Give yourself 2, 3, 4 months to start to build followers, to start to, tweak, tease little things, put little videos, show a little behind the scenes, what you're looking to do. Like you said, even the crowdfunding, talk about how that's going, what's going on with it. So that has to all be done way in advance of when you need it. The more you do that, the better success you're going to have with social media.
I think that's so important. Yeah, totally. And what do you think about Pinterest versus Instagram versus Vine? Like, should filmmakers really be focused on Vine because it's 6 seconds of film?
I mean, listen, it depends on what works for you, right? So if you are, if you're going to be creative, if you love creating Instagram posts, then create Instagram posts. Like, I don't particularly love creating Instagram posts. So that's not a strong platform for me because it's not what I love to be doing. I mean, I do it, but so you're going to be more successful doing what you love to be doing the most. And I think Vine is great for filmmakers, right? Short little videos, even on Instagram or even on Twitter. Use Twitter video, man. Twitter video is hot. People, have you noticed people now, even like people that I connect with, they're now shooting a little video. Hey, Karen, thanks for connecting with me. I instantly remember who they are, right? So you use these little short snippets of video to let people, know, to stand out from the crowd. Again, I don't think you should do all of them. And on Pinterest, you can't overlook Pinterest's massive ability to drive traffic to your site. So if you think you have a film that you can position on Pinterest and you love Pinterest, Pinterest is another thing that's just not my thing. I actually just hired somebody to work on my Pinterest because it's the one I get when I see somebody followed you on Pinterest and I'm like, oh no, I haven't been on there in 6 months, right? But if you think that that's a place for you to be, there's a great way to drive traffic to your website and to your crowdfunding sites and things like that. So again, pick 2, maybe 3, and do them really well. I would, if you love Pinterest and Instagram, I wouldn't overlook Twitter, because Twitter, I think I kind of think you would all need, because that's where you can connect with people. But I would overlook Facebook before. If you really thought Pinterest was a place for you, go to Pinterest. I mean, I don't say that often. Don't think you need to be on Facebook because that's the place to be. Facebook is the place you need to invest some money. You need to have, it might be the right place for you to be. I mean, it really it's different for each person, but don't think if you want to do Pinterest, you have to do Twitter and Facebook and you knew this was coming. You all need to have a great LinkedIn profile. Like you as the filmmaker need to have a great LinkedIn profile. And I have had this discussion with so many people in the film industry that they think LinkedIn isn't the place for them to be. But when people are checking you out, before they invest in you, they're seeing your LinkedIn profile. So even if the people you want to connect to, if you don't think they're on LinkedIn, I don't care. You still need to have a great LinkedIn profile because people are going to be checking you out. And I'm not saying you need to, post there every day. You need to make that a big, I would love for you to do that, but at the very least, have a great LinkedIn profile so that, again, you're positioning yourself as influential so that you can get the big bucks for your projects.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree that investors are especially going to look at your LinkedIn profile before they put in anything.
Yeah, and you can add mixed media. You can add video clips. You can add links to your Vimeo or YouTube site. So take advantage of the fact that LinkedIn is now giving us the opportunity to do those kinds of things and almost create it like it's a portfolio of your work.
Awesome. So I want to end the recorded section of this interview and jump into, letting people on the open seat. So where can people find you?
So I'm at Karen Yankovich everywhere. So the same handle that I have here, that's where I am everywhere. You can find me on Twitter there, Facebook, LinkedIn. I invite you to connect with me and let me know that you saw this and tell me what you're doing. What kinds of things you're doing in social media for your films. I'd love to know because, you guys sometimes have great creative ideas that I can use. So
awesome. And what's your website?
My website is KarenYankovich.com. It's hard to not find. Yeah, it's hard to not find me. Again, personal branding, right? It's branding, and you want to do that for yourself as well. You want to be really consistent in your personal branding so that people don't say, I was going to call you, but I couldn't find you. Like that. You don't want to happen.
Right. So thank you to the people who are watching the replay. The links are below in the details. And so find us on social media.
Yeah, thanks. I'm looking forward to meeting you all.